Hello and welcome to Force 13 Live. My name's Nathan Foy and I'm joined by a Skype team of two, but it's a very interesting two who we have with us this afternoon. Devon and John, who are here on Force 13 Live discussing storms and the world beyond.
Good evening. Oh, good afternoon, sorry.
Oh, it's evening here. Afternoon there.
Good evening. Yes. Alrighty. Probably know both of us.
Yes.
And this is photo imagery straight up from 93L, and I gotta say, it's looking interesting.
There we are. There's the photo imagery of 93L. What's your remarks, John? Any comment?
It is over some really warm sea surface temperatures. So definitely the convection is definitely there, but the question is the circulation there?
Exactly. The big question is, where is the center and where is it going to be?
Is this still an open low or is it a closed system? That's a really tough question.
I certainly can't tell. I can't see any closure in that low.
Definitely.
So
It's
does
still
that mean that
exposed.
it could still form anywhere within that thunderstorm cluster?
Yes, it's still pretty exposed. Here is the latest shear map, and there is a drop in shear in this area. Shear is only moderate, but to the north and east it is still quite high, around 40 or 50 knots. Here's Tropical Storm Bonnie for all you people watching at home. We could probably look at the rainbow imagery to see what cloud tops we're getting on this system. If my computer wants to load. Okay, I'll just stick with the Atlantic shear graphic because that's always safe. You can see this is the area of low shear. I pointed that out quite well, but the this system is probably anywhere between here and here. I'm not 100% certain. It's somewhere in here. Let's take a look at the rainbow floater. And you can definitely see lots of convection popping up. In fact, we're probably seeing temperatures in the 70s in terms of negative degrees Celsius. So we're seeing about here. So this is easily, we're seeing negative 70 degrees Celsius. Oh god, my pencil just decided to go, no, I don't want to do that. Degrees Celsius cloud tops. So any comments on this, Devinson?
Is he there?
Devin? Is Devin there?
Maybe,
Did he take a snooze?
Maybe he's got some background noise. He'll come in when he's ready. I just wanted to show everyone the latest forecast map for 93L from Force 13. You can find it on Force 13's special page for early warning information. And we've decided we designated this system as A6 a long time before becoming an invest. You can see here on the map that it is expected to move towards the northwest, could make a bit of a landfall in the Yucatan before becoming a tropical cyclone, and then we still expect it to become Tropical Storm Colin, but I have to say, John, that's looking a borderline possibility now, don't you think?
Colin, definitely. I just realized my pencil wasn't working this whole time. Dang it. That's nice. I'm gonna have to change my screen sharing settings. That sucks. Well, we're going to have to share my whole screen instead. And again, yeah. One of my thoughts on this becoming a storm. In the next 48 hours, it's got a chance, but I mean, I want to see a bit more organization. To me, I'm seeing a whole bunch of convection and not a whole lot of circulation. And I'm thinking that the convection is either, let me draw on this imagery because the imagery is so beautiful.
Where's John's new little gadget?
Yeah, there we go. Hi, it's working now. Okay, it is working nicely. So I'm thinking that the circulation is anywhere between here and here, somewhere in this whole wide area, I'm assuming.
And in relation to land, that is sort of in the open patch of water north of Honduras and east of the Yucatan Peninsula, Belize.
I am seeing a bit of circulation here. I'm seeing a bit, but I'm having some
I feel if
questions.
It's going to be anywhere, it's going to be there, right?
I'm having some question marks. Is there any circulation going on over here, or is this still an open system? Because this is making me think this is an open low. or even a trough, even a tropical trough. But I think it's just really hard to tell at this point.
What do you think the
I'm definitely seeing
possibility of the
some
models?
convection over here.
The model said a few days ago, and I think they've mainly gone off that idea, but you never know, that this system would move into the Yucatan Peninsula or Central America, and it would feed what would become Colin, or a tropical depression off the north coast of the Yucatan. What do you think?
I don't really agree with the models too much. I'm pretty much in the other camp with Adam, I'm assuming, which is the I'm in the camp that thinks this type of track. I'm in that camp.
Yeah.
I don't think this track. I don't see that happening. But I am in that camp. But you know,
could you just whilst you're on the screen share, could you remind everyone what the NHC are saying right now?
The NHC. Here is the two-day graphical outlook. Here's a 5-day. 5 days. Okay. They are saying a pretty much general consensus.
Now look there, John. They've put the centre just off the coast, which is where you pointed to last on that satellite loop.
Yes. I know. They fixed their center fix, I'm assuming. But I personally think it's just gonna parallel the coast here and just probably turn sooner or later here. This could be a lot smoother of a curve, but again, I am not good at computer drawing. What do I think of intensity? Here, I'm only thinking once it gets here, I mean, I'm not sure how warm or cool the waters in the Gulf are. I think that's why I pulled up my Western Atlantic.
It's not going to do a Charlie, is it?
It's not 2005, buddy. Don't push your luck. And
Charlie wasn't in 2005.
Oh, we mean 2004. Wow. For real. It just proves that I am running off so little sleep right now. Okay. I'm definitely seeing on the bigger floater, I'm definitely seeing this here, this feature. If you notice here, it is beginning to circulate a little bit.
Yeah, so I think just before.
It's definitely beginning to develop. But you can look here, we got a whole sea of 28s and 29s in the Gulf. So this thing's got plenty of water to keep it at bay, or, you know, strengthen it. This is a pretty big bone of contention on this storm's forecast track. Florida. Is it gonna go do something like this? Is it going to do something like this? Or is it going to do something like this? Or even this? It's just the models are having a bad day. Alright? I mean, many of the models are taking this over the Yucatan Peninsula and taking it into like the Gulf Coast or Texas or into Florida even. That's what most of the models are saying, I think, Nathanson.
Well, I can't say I've seen a model taking it into Texas.
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. That could be a possibility, but I doubt it due to other factors. I mean, we still have this huge low pressure here, so I think this track's immediately out. So let me just get the eraser out. There we go. So this upper level low in Texas might actually scare this thing a bit differently than I originally anticipated. So this low might just sitting here is just
because of that low, most of the coastal areas of Texas are under more flooding misery alerts.
Oh dear, yes, that's never going to end, isn't it?
Along with the coast of Louisiana, Mississippi.
Am I even on the call?
Oh, he is. Devon's on the call.
So I think this is...
Yeah, my Skype's completely frozen. I can't do anything.
Oh.
Can't even see screen share. But that seems like a more reasonable kind of track guidance for me. But it's too early to tell. This system could do so many other things. It could even defy the models. I mean, we've seen plenty of systems defy the models before. It's completely possible. But more improbable than impossible. Now, we're going to take a look at the, what should I call it? The emptiness that is Tropical Depression Bonnie. I think that Bonnie is no longer on anyone's radar anymore. I think it should be declared post-tropical, in my opinion. It's done. I mean, all I'm saying is this little patch of convection here. That's all I'm seeing on the graphic.
I'm
If you
seeing a
look
white
here,
screen. Oh, it's there.
I'm only seeing this. This is only on the fringe of the circulation. So it's giving me some definite thoughts on what is it doing now. Is it completely wrecked? Well, again, you should also look at the shear graphic again. There is plenty of shear to the north of the system. That's been well established. The whole northern quarter of the system is pretty much gone because of the shear. And I'm thinking, let's go to the RGB here. The circulation is exposed. That's
Oh, Bonnie's gone.
Bonnie's toast. I mean, I'm still seeing a very vigorous circulation here, which means, this system could just, do a Nadine.
I was just going to mention that.
It could do a Nadine, but I don't know. It's looking doubtful at this point. I mean, seriously, when have we had a Nadine-type storm in June? Next to never. I think, what was the storm? San Sirico was like August, I think.
September, I think.
September.
Add to the interesting discussion, we have Adam, I believe.
Yes, hello. Hi.
Look at the freaking water vapor. It's like,
Hello, quit.
where is the circulation? Where is the circulation? I can't find circulation.
John loves his pencil.
That's because you're too busy looking up at upper levels. Like a genius. It's brilliant, though. It's brilliant how there's only a little pop up there, and that's it.
Okay.
Hey, but you know what? Admittedly, I want to say Bonnie's gone, but knowing Bonnie's history, Bonnie's probably going to take no for an answer.
This thing is gone. I think it's just wrecked.
John's just completely dashed that on the screen.
I'm like, no, this thing's gone. It's out of here. It's out of the park. I'm done with the system.
Finally.
Excellent.
Let's hope so. Anyway.
Please.
Anyway,
it's about time. If you've ever read the 2005 reports, you know what I'm referencing. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go back to 93L because that's tonight's subject of discussion.
Right. So 93L, I did some vigorous research, and I believe I have found myself the circulation center. I currently have it at about, let me refresh here. Sorry, the conditions here are causing the connection to be a little bit kind of thing. So, so I'm seeing it somewhere around 18, 19 north, 85 thereabouts. The surface observations would agree. Also, very high-res rapid scan visible on the system would tend to agree with that as well. I do think, though, that not Bonnie, 93 is messing around with multiple circulations, because I also see another one.
That's actually pretty obvious here when you take a look at it on satellite. You've got the one circulation that's like, it seems like it's making a beeline for Grand Cayman of all the things, and the other one's like sitting, I'd probably say 50 miles to the south and east of Cozumel.
There's that one along 85, which intrigues me, and then there's the other one that's either near Belize or just about making landfall on Belize. That one I expect to actually dissipate.
I mean, that's the one the NHC has gone with.
Well, actually, the one that NHC has tagged on the 2 p.m. is actually none of them. They actually put the X in the middle of actually, the closest one that the NHC had put the one at 85, but nah. that one there that had made landfall, I expected to well go bye bye. The one with the most amount of energy, the most amount of vorticity at most of the levels would be the ones at 85 and the ones and the one at 83, 84. So. And also those ones are closer to where the lower levels of shear are, so that's where I would expect it to really pick up.
Looking at this map now on the actually this imagery even. Sorry, I said map. Wow, I'm having a great day
Well, there's
here.
imagery laid
Full
over a
of
map.
bloopers. Oh, well, technically yes. I'm definitely seeing something like this. I'm definitely seeing something like it.
No.
I can't draw circles. Sorry.
No.
So you think it's someplace else?
Well, there's another one that'd be right a little bit above where your point is, a little bit to the no east of where that is. No, not
East?
at all.
You mean
Yeah.
this way?
I know where he's looking at.
There's
He's looking over here. He's looking over here, isn't he?
Oh,
Never
no.
mind. I'm trying to make.
Okay, I'll give you a location. Look at more like 1682 or 1683 down there.
1683.
Or
Where are you?
84.
Where are you? 84. Where do you think this
not down
system
there.
is?
Up there.
Right there.
Why?
Gee,
There's
this is
one-
turning into the
there-
direct John to the
There is
blindfold.
one.
Did.
There's one center there. There's another one at 85, and then there's the weak one that would be going bye near 89.
Well, you can see there's a few things going on that imagery.
More than
The-
a few things going
the-
on. It just basically
only-
shows the elongated trough of mess that this system really is.
What I do see is a broad circulation with nothing
Yes.
much to it on the southwest side. So
I
Yeah.
guess you didn't see the triangle I drew in the
More
corner.
more
No.
than one circulation, though. That's definite. Especially on this image, you can see at least two, potentially even three, if you look hard enough. So,
That wasn't long ago.
actually, yeah, this is the same image as this morning. They don't like to update these images.
Oh.
This
Yeah.
one's new,
I see.
but this one is not.
But anyway, conditions here in Grand Cayman continue to slowly deteriorate. More rain has been occurring. The winds have indeed picked up quite a bit compared to this morning. So yeah, it is just peachy down here.
Looks like more. Looks like my image, my screen. Oh wait, I'm not even screen sharing.
That is correct, John.
Mhm.
Oh, of course, it would be nice if they
And
if these
If
guys
someone
use
told
microwave-
me,
just
on
on,
my
on,
screen
on-
It would be nice if these guys use microwave imagery for invest, so we can determine areas of lows, whatever.
just on that
I
screen
can't
there,
talk
Devon,
right now.
on the bottom left, is that what could become what the CMC is predicting to be a storm in the East Pac?
Well, what doesn't the CMC predict to be
Very
a storm in the
true.
East Pac?
It's something there at least.
Actually, what doesn't the CMC turn into a storm anywhere in the world?
Absolutely. I noticed this morning that the CMC is predicting 2 South Indian Ocean storms this week.
Well, there's a reason. There's a reason why we dubbed the CMC the cat model crap model.
Yeah, there's a reason why Jesper likes that model.
And you can see the SSEC there as its own little location for the invest, which seems to be completely nothing to do with any of the others.
This is wrong.
Yeah, that's actually the ATCF's location, which
Yeah, that's
is
the ATCF
full.
location.
which is absolute bull. But
The ATCF
seems to
does
be-
not have a fix.
again,
There
But-
seems to be a low-level circulation right here, from what I'm
Yeah.
seeing.
that's well, it's more like a low-level trophiness. But there's one there. There's one east-northeast of there, and there's another one
Right.
a good ways east-southeast of there. Yeah.
Correct.
I'm
That's what I'm
confused.
seeing.
I'm seeing it now.
I'm
Yeah.
picking up a little swirl here. I'm picking up this little bit of convection over here, and
Yeah,
I'm picking up
the
this thing
that-
over here.
that one in the middle that you were looking at is more of a mid-level spin. The actual low-level spin for that one is just more east-southeast of that one. That middle one there. That one to the left, yeah, that's the mid level. The low level is actually just a tad bit to the east southeast on 85.
So this
Well,
system's tilted.
Tad,
Right.
a
I
tad bit.
can see
a tad
that.
bit
I
more.
could see that being the case
Yeah,
because
it's one,
when I put the
One
shear
at a time.
when I put the shear graphic over this thing, you can see that it's yuck.
Ooh.
Yeah, with this system, there is multiple low levels. There's multiple mid levels, and there's multiple multi levels.
What is
Now, yeah, this I'm not disagreeing that this is a very complex and messy system that needs to concentrate before anything else happens. But weren't they supposed to fly a plane into this system today? Where's that?
They canceled.
Oh.
They canceled.
Yeah, likely aircraft issues.
Oh, so much for that.
Well, that means that it's going to. That probably means that this thing's going to lift up into Cuba and the Gulf of Mexico before we even get a plane into this thing.
They rescheduled it for tomorrow, so it will. So we will have a plane in there before it gets anywhere near the tip of Yucatan or Cuba or Florida. So
Why don't they send it in tonight? Is it they just fly at night?
Why don't you send a plane into a hurricane at night?
why don't we just send you into one?
I think it's a bad idea.
It is
They'll
a bad
send you
idea.
a-
Here's that swirl. There's that low level right there. You can see it coming,
Oh,
shooting west.
Yeah. Hey, John, this is what we'll do, right? We'll put you in a small little Cessna Skyline in a hurricane, yeah?
There's
little-
that.
Oh,
Devon,
dear.
have you made any more conclusions, or anyone else, as to whether this storm will actually be tropical by the time it reaches Florida, or when it will turn post-tropical?
I think this is just me from what I've looking. When it was in the Southwest Caribbean, it looked really promising.
Mm.
Then as it moved up into the Northwest Caribbean, it was looking not as good, but still solid. And now it's a mess, running into high shear, and a massive trough dipping into the Gulf of Mexico.
Mm.
This thing is messy, more messier
Not
than
looking good. It does have still the possibility to concentrate in the Gulf of Mexico, or maybe, I don't even know, this thing could probably split into two different systems and do something completely weird. I have no idea.
The best bet for this system is to stay where it is at the moment, or even further.
Yes. I'm completely in agreement with you on that one.
However, for its future, I am a little bit more optimistic than Devon with this system. I do think that this thing will eventually filter out, and this thing will eventually get going as it heads towards Cuba. I don't even buy this thing even going anywhere near the Yucatan anymore. Even the models that I don't even buy till we get a Hurricane Hunter into the thing, even the models kind of agree now, pulling it more and more further away from the Yucatan now. And I'm agreeing with it. I don't see this thing going anywhere near the Yucatan. I say it's either the eastern half of the Yucatan Channel or the western tip of Cuba, making landfall either somewhere between west central to southwest Florida. I don't see this thing going any higher than that, and I'm expecting as soon as it gets in the Gulf of Mexico, it would start moving a bit more quicker and shoot more eastwards and out to sea.
You know,
It's gonna accelerate.
I said this before. I'm gonna say it again. I'm giving this storm until Monday to do something. If it's not developed by Monday, I really don't think that there's going to be any chance for that to happen.
All the
So
stuff.
it's got the rest of today, and it's got tomorrow, I think, to really get going.
I'm gonna say that I'm just gonna give it till when it actually gets into the Gulf of Mexico, because it could very well be that this system ends up stalling over the Northwest Caribbean and not moving much over the next 2 days, and then it gets kicked out northeastwards, ends up going even further east into Cuba and missing Florida altogether. I could even see that possibility happening.
That's likely not going to happen because of the massive trough that's in the Gulf of Mexico right now, but we'll see.
The only thing that the trough will do is to push the system east. The thing that's pulling it north is the surface high out in the Atlantic, and the west side of that high is breaking down. The west side of that Atlantic high is weakening, pulling southeastwards, and could very well be dissipating. So I mean, you know, that's the main thing that's going to be yanking it north. The trough is what's going to be yanking it east. So
right.
What are you showing us there on those overlays?
That would be the,
orange overlay is low level vorticity. The yellow overlay is upper level divergence. The blue overlay is lower level convergence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
And for the viewers, are signaling what?
And that's what you can see here. Basically, what we've been saying, an elongated mess.
Pretty much. Which there is the interesting thing with elongated mess like this. Very broad elongated messes is that you could have multiple circulations, but yet the main circulation that will eventually get this thing going, if it gets going, and the main center of the system could be anywhere from Belize even out into the Eastern Caribbean near 81. There could be a new circulation that ends up actually being the main center of the system that could form anywhere within the area.
You think this will be like a Debbie-like system, or it just doesn't, or is it? Never mind. That's a stupid question.
Oh, I know what you meant there by Debbie, and I think that would be a good analog. I think that's a pretty fair analog myself. Of course, some people would probably disagree with me on that, but another storm that was kind of in this same area moved up into the Gulf of Mexico, got caught up in a trough, went across Florida, and did nothing.
It just dropped a lot of rain.
Still.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
that audio cut out.
rain was very needed.
Yeah.
I would say that for its intensity, for whatever the system would be, where it's going to get it from is there in the Northwest Caribbean. It's not going to get it from the Gulf. The Gulf is
No, it's not going to get it from the Gulf of Mexico.
The Gulf is too cold, and not only that, but the oceanic heat content is almost nothing in the Gulf of Mexico, especially off the west coast of Florida. The oceanic heat content is almost nothing. There's a little bit that's in the loop eddy that goes from the Northwest Caribbean around into the Gulf Stream. That goes through the Florida Straits, but I mean, for the most part, most of the Gulf, most of especially the Florida area, heat potential is almost non-existent. So, if for this thing,
I've just pulled up pulled up the OHC graphic right now up on the screen share, and you can see numbers of 100 or even better to the north and west of Grand Cayman, and the 100s even stretch a little bit into the Florida Strait, but as you said, just garbage in the Gulf of Mexico at the very best.
So I mean, I'm quite sure that between now and tomorrow, you might even have one or two low-level circulation relocation, if there is one now, and this thing could actually probably set itself up, as I said, northeast of Nicaragua, Honduras, and it could set itself up on that 85-degree line. And it could end up being more beneficial for the system than it, to further to the west near the Yucatan.
What I'm showing now are the maximum potential intensity numbers, and again, definitely lower than they are in the Caribbean. I wouldn't necessarily say garbage, because 940 millibars is still a pretty decent number. But if you really want to get a storm going, you want those MPI numbers to be 900 or less. And you can see the ridiculous numbers in the East Pacific, but we're not going to worry about them.
Yeah,
those numbers are always ridiculous.
They'll be gone
with
soon.
Sea surface temperatures over 30 Celsius. But
those numbers will be gone soon, I think, because of La Nina.
John, was there something you wanted to say just now?
Yeah, I remember seeing one of the first forecast cones for Tropical Storm Bonnie, and I was like, no, sorry, Tropical Storm Debbie in 2012. I was like,
oh, yes.
How the hell did they get that wrong? They said Texas. I was like, what?
no.
So then again, one thing that I've always learned is that never ever falls for a few sets of forecast models.
They're usually garbage anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a black bit there in the East Pack. Is that like 840 or something?
840?
Yeah. Anything is black is 850 or better.
Wow.
Or not available, like overland maps.
Yeah. Of course.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Of course you can't have a storm on the
Don't worry,
overland.
Cesar, you will not have an 840 millibar storm.
Yeah. The black goes both ways. One, if the maximum potential intensity is above 1050,
How's that possible?
that's black. Or if it's below 850, it's also black. So there you go. Like, notice maximum potential intensity numbers over here are around the 1,000 millibar range directly over Panama. Or, I mean, that's Costa Rica.
No, Panama-Costa Rica border.
I clearly don't know my Central American geography.
Never mind, John.
The only thing that you need to know about Central American geography is that the Panama Canal runs from northwest to southeast.
Okay.
On that note, does anyone want to talk about the Eastern Pacific possibilities?
They're gone.
Been
They're
looking
shot.
less and less likely as time's gone on.
Yeah, and not only
It's
that,
shot.
but I mean, it's not going to be a bother to anyone. The only thing it's going to be a bother to is Nemo and Dory and their friends.
And shipping.
Oh no, dude, they're down. No, dude, Nemo and Dory, they live down in the coral reefs down in Australia.
Wrong hemisphere, dude.
Near East Pacific.
Dude, you got it wrong.
Bro.
It was just a concept, dude.
Okay.
Yes, it was a very good concept.
Now,
Oh, ha, ha, ha.
I don't know if Devon and John would like to discuss what you were discussing before the start of the show or not. Or indeed
wow.
anything else that's on your mind.
What the
right
heck's
now.
going on here?
Oh,
They're
look, that-
saying, what? What? I'm like, what's going on here? Why are we seeing two disturbances?
Because one of the models
Now,
did
that's
predict
the-
two
that's-
disturbances.
That's the CMC and NavGem. It
Having
just
a bad
kicked me
day.
off the internet, didn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no. The thing is that originally they were always saying about two systems there, and then they dropped the one, and they kept the one that was further out to sea, and then they brought this. We'll see.
Uh-oh.
But
Something's happening.
I definitely do doubt the one that's closer to Central America, and I'm even doubting the one out in the further out into the Pacific. It's just things are just not going to be great for the Pacific this year. Things are just not going to be nice. It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be sad for the East Pac. You never know. They might even have they might even get the chance of seeing record lows this year. Who
Well,
knows?
literally,
That's right,
it's been worse for the West Pac this year, and that's what we're looking at right now.
Oh, the West Package. Back for better
Language.
crap.
Yeah, the Westpac, I'm probably gonna guess right now it's looking very similar to how the Atlantic looked like 1 year ago. Wrecked. Look at these shear totals. Look at them.
Hundreds up top.
Devastation. Except in the South China Sea, there's nowhere for any storm to develop.
Hey, well, guys, to tell anyone out there, if you're planning a trip over to anywhere in the Westpac, now is the best time to go.
Well,
Yeah.
unless you want a storm.
By the way, even though that there's literally no shear in the South China Sea, we don't necessarily see any disturbances that are going to develop there anyways.
The few puffy
Dry
clouds.
air.
Despite great sea surface temperatures and low shear, you also have to have instability, which is not there right now.
Yep, all of it's up in the Caribbean. That's where
Oh,
it
by
is.
the way, I'm not sure if the JMA is going to issue advisories on clouds.
No, the JMA does issue advisories on clouds. They actually issue advisories on half of cloud.
Well, they might have to this year.
More than once.
Oh dear.
But then again, we're talking about the same organization that rated Typhoon Mike at 175 miles an hour, but let's not go there.
Let's not have that argument right now. Thank you
But
very
having
much.
said all
Right,
that,
currently-
I do think, obviously, the West Pacific is already on course for a top 10 latest start to the season. It may even be top 5 threshold by now, I don't know. But
Well,
despite
when's
all
the
that,
latest? July 17th?
July 7th, I think it was, in 1998, which was the latest start ever. Well, since satellites. But what interests me is that I think the West Pacific will still have a few intense storms, and I do think it will have a Category 5.
Yeah. Oh, no, I completely agree with you. I think the first storm that the West Pacific sees is going to be a bomb. Kind of like Damry from back in 2000.
Maybe.
And it probably might happen at about maybe late September, maybe October.
And yeah, there's probably going to be another super typhoon, probably going to be around the Philippines, and probably going to be a Category 5.
Well,
Why are the Philippines
that's
always
what
on
all
the firing line?
indicators are saying at the moment. I mean, you compare to similar years in terms of climatology, the two most recent ones, 2010, 1998. Voila, both a Category 5 landfall in Luzon. Wonderful. Anyway.
I'm wondering why the Philippines is such a typhoon. Never mind, it's a stupid.
Hold on. Typhoon Zeb was 5 at landfall?
I think so.
I mean, the Philippines. I mean, it's a good country, except it's highly typhoon prone.
Yeah.
Just make sure you don't call them the. Never mind.
Please, not on air.
No, I was
tell me-
going to
you
make
can
a
s-
terrible Bible reference. I'm not going to go there.
Thank you. Okay. He. Maybe we should open up the can of worms.
What is the can of worms?
Well, if they're gummy worms, I'll open 10 cans of them right now.
Does anyone want to open the can of worms that is Hyperworld?
Ah!
Devon's exploded.
Guess not.
You can if you want.
What do you want me to talk about?
Okay, viewers, say yes or no. Do you want John to divulge information about Hyperworld? And we'll see what the response is in a moment or two.
I hope this divulge is not like the one I had when before Hurricane Week last year.
Yes, that was yes. Oh look, well someone already said yes, and we've already gone on to it. So there we are. This, if you've not seen it before, is the Hyperworld. It was a project launch during summer last year. It was retired sort of at the end of the year, and it's now back again. It's a hypothetical world. If you've not seen the hypothetical football games, or if you have seen them, all of those countries are represented in those as well, and we sort of our own little world, which tracks their own storms, and whatever else.
Oh dear! Don't get started on ideas for a first Force 13 hypothetical channel. Oh dear! You have enough channels already.
Hey,
Those aren't those channels are not Force 13 related. Thank you.
We have a few.
A few. Oh
There's
dear.
Devon's country, Glisa, wonderful.
see my country at bottom.
Yes,
Your country is apparently both of these two combined now, Caldland and North Caldland.
Yes, because my cousin took North Caldland, and we're calling it the I don't know,
United Caldland.
United Kingdom of Caldland.
Ooh.
Or you know what, we might change to Great Caldland, but you know, we'll see if we could
So,
you know.
does anyone
is
want to
the-
guess what country
Here
that
is
is?
here is the great nation of Colombia,
There's beach.
Okay.
and of course the communist dictatorship state of the United Kingdom.
Oh dear.
I mean, it's kind of a mix between dictatorship and maybe a little hint of Nazism, but yeah, they're about, yeah.
Well, they're both the same thing. They're both dictatorships, so
Communistic and Nazism in one country. That's the best.
and here's a couple more glorious countries here. The fools and the salads.
Yes.
And then you have, well, let's see here. We have Glisa and the two traitors, but let's not go there.
What?
And there's Invest 90H.
Yes.
Here's one thing we've not mentioned yet.
Yes, the one thing that we've not mentioned, because it's basically at the same state that Invest 93L is at right now. It's 80% chance. It's an elongated trough, but this one probably is going to develop into a TD shortly. There's always a good chance that it might just stall. That's why I'm putting it at 80%. It might just not go there right now, but it's very likely to go to because it's in low shear. Since it's so close to the equator, it's in good sea surface temperatures, ocean heat content, etc.
It's very interesting to think about how the climate would be on this country, in this world rather, in terms of, you know, all the things that we look at when it comes to tropical development, because the land masses are all different, which means the seas and the sea currents will all be different as well.
Yes. And I tried to incorporate all of that into my 2.3 billion cell Excel file.
Which didn't work. Couldn't you just make it 1 billion or something?
But yeah, I really need a supercomputer of sorts.
Evidently.
You ain't borrowing mine.
I don't need gigahertz processors. I need terahertz processors for that shit.
All right. You ain't borrowing.
Okay. Did you scroll over to the interesting country above Caldland?
Yes,
John wants
called
his
one.
part. Yes.
Yes.
The Mineral Kingdom.
Oh yeah, this thing.
This thing.
Oh
should
yeah,
probably
that thing.
I should probably put the capital cities on, which for whatever reason only a few capital cities were put in.
Well, you also put cities and towns on. No, they'll work.
Nope, those aren't. he didn't put them on this.
Just to let everyone know,
what-
you can access that by going on hyperworld.force13.com. Basically, if you visit the Force 13 website, just add a hyperworld dot in front of it.
I have cities and towns working on mine.
Oh, John's got it.
Here's a
decent.
sample.
I just got a 404 error. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Here's a sample of what towns and cities will look like.
Yeah.
You know, I was trying to pull up the old Hyperworld that had all the cities and whatnot on it, but I guess Jason's taken that down.
Here's
I might have some old screenshots, but yeah, that's best I can do. We'll talk about that off air.
Here is a sample of what cities and towns would kind of look like, I guess.
Yeah, that's... Your country's the only one that has them.
Jason was doing a test run. He just chose mine to do a test run on.
There we are.
There's
So,
also
go on.
another thing. I gotta find it on here. Another interesting thing on Hyperworld. It's on this computer. It should be. I just gotta find it. You guys can do other things while I try to do that.
Yeah, well, whilst we've got just 10 minutes to go, I just wanted to give this opportunity to anyone who's got anything else to say about what's going on in the world of storms, either today or in the future this year. Any new thoughts that have come to your mind? I guess not.
Hearing a lot of crickets.
Well, I mean, I could say that I think this year might be wrecked, and I think the Atlantic and especially the Caribbean will be wrecked. And I think some parts of the U.S. will be wrecked, and I think we'd be using the word wrecked so much that the word wrecked would be wrecked.
That's my hand.
It'd be added to the dictionary, the official dictionary.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh dear, so much wreckage in one sentence. Yeah, the Atlantic's gonna be interesting, to say the least. Might see activity reminiscent of another certain year that I'm not going to mention.
One of our
1996.
favorite years.
2012.
And it could also reminisce of other years that's a little bit further back that you could all remember how.
I'm not saying 2005. 2005 is just too hyperactive.
I mean, we could. There is a possibility that we may end up seeing something.
Devin, comment.
The probability of that happening is at the moment quite low, but there is still that possibility that it could happen.
Devin, comment on that.
Probability is low.
I thought Devin would make a comment, but oh well.
Well, I mean, I think I perfectly stated that well enough not to need another comment.
I think we're going to get a cross between 2010 and 1998.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a fair.
2010 and 1998. Let me do some math.
What, you're
Yeah.
counting up all the storms and you'll say we'll have that many?
No, not that
that-
type of math. You said you wanted the cross 1998
go.
2010. So
Then-
if you
that-
get the
Well,
answer would be 4,015,980.
What?
I
Okay.
just multiplied them both. I
Um,
multiplied
Oh.
both of them.
Get lost,
That's excellent.
Devin.
Just going to ask this. So 1998 had 14 named storms, if I recall correct.
Um,
Got to
Probably.
the end name, Nicole.
That's right. Yep. Okay.
So you had 14 there, and you had 19 in 2010.
something there about, yeah.
So 16 and a half storms.
Okay. Meanwhile, I still think that we're going to have a season kind of paralleling 1996.
Okay.
which had 13 storms, 9 hurricanes, and 6 majors.
And yeah, that was interesting here.
Yeah.
Hey kids, don't do standardized testing in live events. It never goes well.
You're not
Yeah,
Just like you.
he is crazy enough to do something like that.
in a live event. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well,
Just like
again,
you don't
I took a standardized test like earlier today.
Just like you don't drink a Miller High Life after you drank some Jack Daniels. It doesn't go
Oh dear.
Well, I never had a problem with it. Then again, I don't like Jack Daniels. I like Johnny Walker better.
Okay. Alright. Checking. So yeah, what time is it now?
We're just coming
It's
up
time for
to
you to go to bed.
It is currently
8 minutes to
almost
7
2 o'clock.
UTC.
And almost 2 o'clock our time and 3 o'clock your time.
Yeah. Devinson, why you say it's almost time to go to bed, Devinson?
I said almost time for you to go to bed. I didn't say it was time for me.
So I
You
think
have
this
all this
live
testing
event's
to be
kind
tired.
of. I think this live event's kind of, drawn out to whatever.
Alright, don't make it obvious, John.
I'd say this whole show, anything I just said is probably real material today.
Oh,
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. We hit on all of our topics in like 25, 30 minutes. And then we've been rambling for another 25 or 30 minutes. So,
and hey, if there's nothing going on in the Western Pacific, there's nothing to talk about.
The Westpac is boring as hell, and you should hate it.
I think we already hit
Yeah.
on the West Pacific.
The
Exactly.
Southern Hemisphere is
I'm
boring.
going to bash on it really hard.
The Southern Hemisphere is boring. The West Pack is boring. The Central Pack is boring. The East Pack is relatively boring, except for 2 systems. The Indian Ocean is boring. The South Atlantic is boring. So
When is the
Yeah.
South
The
Atlantic
whole
not
tropical
boring?
world's boring right now. This has
Yeah,
been the most
the
slow
extratropical world is
Yeah.
more interesting right now.
I hate, and I'm not in the mood for this. The extratropics are boring because we get things every day. They're
Never
boring.
mind, John.
Oh, I got something that we can pull up.
Oh, go on then.
It's a guess system.
Quickly.
Because, no, it's not a guess the storm, but
That's
I think
tomorrow,
it's
John, that's
actually,
tomorrow.
really
I can't be around for that.
Oh, foolish.
No, I think this is actually really interesting because we could be looking at some severe weather tomorrow. As you can see, here's the Storm Prediction Center convective outlook. This is for tomorrow. And currently they have a slight chance of thunderstorms extending for most of Pennsylvania, here a little bit into New York. But you also have the enhanced risk that covers most of eastern Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, the southern 2/3 of New Jersey, and the entire Lehigh Valley area of Pennsylvania, extending up into almost up into the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area, which would be bad for me because that's exactly where I live. And I'm just going to read through this here real quick. I'm not going to have this on the screen share because they'll probably bore you.
Ah. Oh my.
Or
There's your
never
desktop.
mind, my Skype has. Nope, there we go.
Well, I believe that's
Wall
all
of text.
from this Storm Discussion Hour. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll be back again to discuss more storms tonight at midnight UTC, as we do quite often. I'm sure we'll have more information on Invest 93L, and we'll probably have some other people to join us as well. I'm sure David and Lee will be around. Adam will probably still be here. I don't know. Are you still here?
I don't know.
We'll find out. We'll find out at the time. It's like a pleasant surprise. You don't know who's going to turn up until it happens. Anyway, we'll be back soon. Stay tuned to Force 13 Live. Stop sleeping.
What?